All righty. Good afternoon. This is Dr. J.P. and I have the honor of interviewing Tonya Winbush. She is running for city council, okay? And Tonya, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, I am born and raised in Anderson. Um, I am the fourth child of Mr. and Mrs. late James Winbush. My mother's still living. Um, we were brought up in the church. Um, I have a strong ties to the church, and so much so that I decided that I needed to answer the call. Right. So in 2020, I actually did my first ordination. Yes, thank you. I was licensed and ordained. I did a lot in 2020 here at Living Water Church under the leadership of my sister, Pastor Angela Broner. And it was such an honor to be able to be a part of this ministry, not only because it is my sister, but also because of the founder, yes, Dr. Darla Whistler, who I met on many occasions and who just had a love in her ministry that accepted all and gave all and wanted to teach people. She was really a ministry of teaching people the Word of God. And so, because of that strong foundation, my sister has been able to take the Rams and it reached out to me. And so, I am Reverend Tonya Winbush, and that is just part of the history of how I got started in ministry. But my history goes all the way back to starting right after high school, where I went into the military. 1993, I graduated from T.L. Hanna High School, which is, everybody knows it being the school where radio was like the mascot really for the school. And so it was a big deal because we were the first year to graduate from the new school that they built on Highway 81. So it was a staple in my heart and in my history that put me on the path to go into the military. So
Awesome.
so I went into the military right after school, and that's where I learned a lot about leadership, about sacrifice, about discipline. I've learned so many lessons just being in the military that's one of the reasons that I feel like it's put me on a path to be where I am now. I am so excited to say that that's where I had my family as well. When I went into the military, that's when I got married, had my daughters, came back home, had two more children. So I have four girls. I was married for 21 years. I, of course, came back home after the military, and like I said, it put me on a path to where I can see now that everything that I did in my life has led to me in this very moment running for city council and being able to take all the leadership discipline experiences that I've had and apply it to being able to lead the people in the city of Anderson.
Now, one of the things that I've noticed since I have been in Anderson is our youth. Um, you know, how do you see, your goals? Well, you are a mother, you know, you have children,
I have four girls.
okay?
So one of the reasons why the youth is important to me, not only because I have four girls and I raised them here, but because the incident that happened with my third daughter. My third daughter at the time was at North Carolina A&T, um, but she had left school and came back home because of some incidences. But her and her boyfriend from high school uh, were together, I think I want to say since 10th grade. And he went to North Carolina, I want to say Greensboro College, and she was at North Carolina A&T. And he came home one summer. He was about to be a junior there. He was on a football scholarship, and of course, them being high school sweethearts, you know the struggle with that. But he came home for the summer, and unfortunately, because of the violence, he was shot and killed at the Anderson Mall. And as tragic as that is, and you think that it couldn't get any worse, his sister was shot and killed 5 months later. And they were both teenagers. He was 19 and she was 18. And my daughter in a downward spiral. You can just imagine the trauma that put her in. And so that hitting so close to home to me, because he was like a son to me. He actually got saved in this very church. I used to bring him to church with us, and he was such a well-mannered, loving child. And he would get a bad reputation because of his family history or things that had going on. And people think that, you know, that if you don't come from a certain side of town, that it's not going to affect you.
Right.
That it's not going to touch you. But that's the thing that hurt my heart and let me know that we have to do more for the youth.
Yeah, because I do see that you have youth engagement as one of your one of your platforms. Launch Anderson Youth Advancement, year-round tutoring, summer bridge, paid internships, and a youth council so our kids could learn, lead, and stay safe close to home. That is awesome, and that is close to my heart. Okay, because children are close to my heart, and we won't get into me.
Right.
But also tell me a little bit about public safety.
So public safety has to do with him getting shot and killed as well.
Okay.
We are well aware that idle minds is the devil's playground.
Tell me about it.
And so when children have nothing to do, youth have nothing to do but be on social media, where sometimes it's not safe in their images and their music and things that are not really conducive to a positive, thriving environment. Then public safety becomes an issue with the fighting, with the guns. And I am, a supporter of the Second Amendment. I do own a gun, but I feel like if we're not teaching and training and letting people know there are other options than violence and shooting and allowing public safety to have a sense of second chances, so that children don't have to go into the system and be stuck in the system, but they have a way out of the system. And even with our recidivism, people who have to keep going back, if we could somehow develop a system to where they can be acclimated into society, to be productive citizens and to be proud of their work and their ownership, then I think that we can work together as a community and not have so many young people and just unfortunate people sometimes with mental illness having to succumb to being a part of the criminal justice system. So
right.
Those are some of the things I'm hoping I can address when I get on city council.
That sounds awesome. As an ex, believe it or not, I was a CO, corrections officer.
Okay.
So I can identify to what you're saying. I'm like you. I've got many hats. Let's talk a little bit about the housing stability.
Right. So right now, I had a constituent of mine, which I'm hoping to be a constituent when I win the seat. But he took me around and said, I just want you to ride around the community. And I'm talking to a couple of other people that live in the community. And one of the things that they talk about is the trash and the dilapidated housing. And one of the things that I want to be able to bring to the community is a way to be able to rebuild and revitalize the community, so that people can feel safe and stable in their homes, and so that older people or people with disabilities who may not have the resources to, put on a new roof or to, get new plumbing or help with the new windows or shingles, that those programs that are out there, that they know about them, that they know they're qualified, and that they can have those resources to rebuild and also to make housing affordable, so the young people who are out there who want to have a home in the community and not have to move out or go elsewhere, they'll have a safe, stable, beautiful community that's not riddled with crime and trash and dilapidated housings that they can be proud of. And we are able to do that when we can find the resources. So one of the things that I know that I want to tell people about is about it's called a homestead exemption. And a lot of people in the community may not be aware that once you turn 65, you get an exemption from property taxes on your home. And not only is it for people who turn 65, if you're disabled and if you've been declared legally blind, that you don't have to pay the taxes. You get a tax exemption, meaning you don't have to pay the actual rate, but you'll get a discounted rate on taxes, which may help you to stay in your home longer, or it may help you to be able to rebuild some of the things that's fallen down with the upkeep, I should say, of the home.
Now, the other night, well, one of the questions that was asked to you was, how would you be able to, information seems to be an issue, in our county, in Anderson. So I know your degree is communications as well, but talk to me a little bit more, or talk to us a little bit more about how you would be able to, get more information out and, into the community.
So one of the things I can say is communication is very important, and I want to talk about my degrees because someone did say to me today, congratulations on my degree, but I've had the degree for a while now. I didn't just get it, but I have 3 degrees. I have an associate's degree in public service. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Anderson University, and I have a master's degree from Liberty University in communications. And so those degrees I've had for a little while now, and I appreciate the congratulations, but I want people to be more focused on my experience than just my degrees. It all goes together, and so communication is important because if you don't know how to communicate something, then people don't know how to use the information to benefit them or to apply it to their lives so they can use it to their benefit. So information and communication is so very important. And so one of the things that I want to do is be able to have a communication hub. I think the perfect place would be at the Westside Community Center, a website or social media site that is a place where people can go to find out all the businesses in the community, what services they provide, any type of events that's going on in the community for young people to be a part of, or anything that people can know. If I need a resource, if I need to know something, if I need help, I know that I can find it at this one place. And also possibly to start a newsletter for those older people in the community that may not have any clue about social media, but they will go to their mailbox and get a newsletter and they'll read it. I want to be able to start something like that, but I also want to be able to make sure that it's not just my ideas and what I think need to happen. I want to be able to pull the community in and have a town hall within the first 30 days of me winning this seat. I want to have a town hall so that people in the community can come and express their concerns and let me know what the needs are so that I can begin to put the solutions together, so we can begin to put the solutions together for the community.
Now, I love that, but let me ask you, what would you do I know the person that was in that seat is retiring, and she's so well loved and respected in the community. What will you do differently?
So I think what I would do differently is being me. My leadership style is different. I think that I would be remiss if I didn't glean from the things that she has done. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. Whatever she's been successful at, of course, I'm going to continue doing what she did in the successful parts. But the things that maybe she weren't able to address, not saying that she wasn't successful, but she has a time where it's time for her to rest and retire. And so I want to be able to lead from the standpoint of where I am, which is more community based, right? I want to lead from a standpoint of finding out what people need and having them to come in and put their hands to the plow and giving them a space to be able to understand and know what's going on in a I guess in a sense of not me doing the work all by myself, but allowing them to come in and to show them how that the city council works, who does what, give them information so then they can decide how they can come in and be a benefit to the community, what resources they have and what they can bring in. And I think that's the thing that's going to make me different from what she has done or what she does is I want to bring as many people in the community into the city council to be involved as much as possible, so that there is transparency, that there is, not a, it's not just one person doing everything and everyone, feels as if they are, I guess, not stagnant, but they may feel like we really don't know what's going on and we don't know what resources are available to us because we're just not sure. And I want to bring a transparency that maybe hasn't been there before.
Well, in saying that, do you see yourself doing more networking?
Definitely, definitely. I want to be able to network with, not just people in the city, but also in the county. I want to bring in the school system because I would love for the city to be able to have a part in that youth engagement. If we share the responsibility, I feel like it would be able to be more beneficial to everyone. When we share the responsibility, we get more done together than divided.
That is for sure. That's definitely for sure. I spent about 4 hours listening to the funeral of Reverend Jackson, and one thing that came out over and over again was that he walked into a room, no matter what that room was, and when he got into that room, he started looking around, okay, at who had the heart to do something and say, okay, what you gonna do?
Right.
You got the heart? Okay, this is what to do. I mean, so do you see yourself giving more? Not only, we don't want you to work yourself into oblivion,
Right.
but you see yourself, when there are youth,
Right.
there are people in the community that have ideas, at gleaning from those,
Right.
and working
Right.
with those.
Right. And I think the main thing that when you give people a job or opportunity, or you allow them to show you what they're good at, I think it gives them accountability. A sense of accountability is what I am wanting to give, but also to get. A lot of times we want to hold our leaders accountable, but we don't want our leaders to hold us accountable.
Oh, that's good.
And so I feel like if when my constituents vote me into this seat, and I am the next city councilwoman for seat 5, not only do I want them to hold me accountable for the things that I've said, I want to be able to hold them accountable to the things that they should be doing as responsible citizens in the city of Anderson. We have to work together, and it's a back and forth. And if you hold me accountable, I want to be able to hold you accountable for the things that you say that you can do as a citizen as well. We have to work together. So accountability is a big thing. When you have a heart for something, someone should be able to hold you accountable to what you say you love and what you want to do.
Now, you already said you were a veteran, but in your platform it said you speak of veteran and service members. You said expand veteran care, one-stop benefits, help with job placement, partnership, dedicated. Now, mental health. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that doesn't only cover the veterans. That covers all of us.
Right.
PTSD, especially with the war that's going on, and all of the violence that's going on in the communities. PTSD is definitely an issue. How do you see yourself, maybe, even expanding the care?
Right. So I think we all have a responsibility to mental health and also to veterans. I know that a lot of the information that are for veterans is just not out there. I work at the VA, and so I get a lot of phone calls of veterans just not knowing who to call, what services are available to them, and what benefits are available to them. And so I think that once we can validate, because I know that Anderson County, and I'm not sure how many in the city, but we have a big population of veterans here in Anderson. And so I believe that veterans have a discipline and an experience, to me, that if they're able to be in a place where they're thriving and working and doing what they're good at, it'll help with their mental health.
Oh, definitely.
And so I believe that will help with a lot of people. Sometimes there's a drug addiction issue, which would be more on the medical side.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that if we can get people's hands to working and busy on the things that is giving back, that
Mm-hmm.
is something that they can be proud of, that is something that they feel an accountability to.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that that will make a difference not only with veterans, but people that are in contact with veterans, because everybody's proud of our veterans. Nobody is not proud of anybody that served in the military. It is such an honorable thing, especially now what's going on with our country at war. My heart goes out to those soldiers that are in
Yes.
this, who have already lost their lives. I can't imagine the hurt and the pain that their families feel, but that sacrifice is something to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that when we're able to honor our veterans who have sacrificed so much, it puts a pride on the community.
Yes, it does.
And so we have to use and garner the things that we have. Sometimes we don't look at what's actually in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we could just look at what's in our hands and put them in the proper place, I believe that we'll be successful.
Now, one uh, before we um, talk about the infrastructure, I just want to tell everybody that one of the things that we all need to be responsible for is voting, getting out and voting. Now, this election is going to take place April the 7th. If you're having issues getting to the polls, if you need help getting a ride to the polls or getting your vote, we're going to leave on Tanya's website, okay, information where you can get that from. That on her website. Her website is, oh, all right. We have to we'll put it up there. Go ahead.
Yes. So, one of the things that I do know is in a citywide election,
Mm-hmm.
we don't get a lot of votes. Um, we don't get a lot of votes because I think people don't know about it and it's not advertised very well. Most people are excited about the federal elections,
Mm-hmm.
the state elections, right? The county elections, because they are in line with the federal election. So, of course, the primary is coming up in June, and then the actual vote will be in November. But for the city, it's not like that.
Right.
So the city election is coming up in about 30 days. It's going to be on April the 7th. And so if you have not already registered to vote, it's too late. I think you have to register 30 days prior to the election. So for those of you all who are not registered to vote, but you wanted to vote for me, I almost positive tomorrow may be the last day. Today or tomorrow may be the last day that you can register to vote. And that is a bad thing, because a lot of people don't know that they're not registered, or if they haven't voted in the last two elections, then they may be in what they call a non-active voter status.
Oh,
they can still vote, but their vote will be on a provisional ballot. So I don't want to discourage anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Please go vote. Check your vote status. You can go to scvotes.gov, put in your information. You can look at your ballot. You can actually look at your registration. You can see the address that you're registered at. If it doesn't match your driver's license, then you need to go to the voter registration office and update your address. But I said all that to say that if you know how important our local elections are,
oh goodness,
you would run to vote on April the 7th. Our local elections decide so much about our community. The resources that we have in our community is allocated based on what the board says. So when you have trash, when you have dilapidated housing, when you feel like you don't have security in your communities, if you don't have anything for the youth to do, when you have grandchildren and children and there's no safe playground or safe place for them to go into a building and have some an after school care program, this or that, then those resources are allocated by your city council.
Mm.
And if you don't vote, and if you're not involved, and if you're not active, and if you're not holding your leadership accountable, most likely those resources are going to be allocated to someone else in another district or another seat or another project. So if you are registered to vote, I would love for you to vote for me on April the 7th. I will be on the ballot. My name is Tonya Winbush. And if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything that you feel is pertinent to the city of Anderson that I should know, even if you want me to come to your house and sit down and talk with you, I will be more than willing to do that. I'm easily reached. You can put me on Facebook, and I'm right there. And my website is tanyawinbush.com. You can just type that in, and you'll see my information there. I have a donation link. I have a link for volunteers if you want to volunteer. And if you want me to come and speak at your organization, civic, religious, any type of organization, a youth group, I'm more than willing to come and speak. So I am open. The importance of voting, I cannot stress enough. But please vote on April the 7th at Southwood Middle School. That is where everyone in my district will be voting, at Southwood Middle School. And if you need help getting there, let me know, and I'll make sure you get transportation.
All righty. Uh, I like that. We're not gonna close with that
Okay,
though.
okay,
Okay, I want to close a little bit more with this infrastructure and neighborhood resilience.
okay.
That is so crucial um, in our neighborhoods. Um, my God, especially now with a lot of the gains that we have made in funding for housing, the Habitats for Man, all of these different venues that have been put in place to help us with our homes. So many of them are being attacked. A lot of the funding is being attacked. Um, I'm really impressed with what you're looking at here. I mean, sidewalks and drainage. I mean, my God, whenever we have heavy rains, okay, we have issues. All right. I think Helena, when that storm came through, it told us a lot. Oh my God. With the trees that came down and everything else that came down, we need more communication. We need to know where to go, how to get help. We need to be at these meetings. We need to be not just pulling on you for information, but knowing where to go to get that information makes all the difference in the world, and we have to use it. So that's my 2 cents. I personally live in the county, but I am excited about this election because all the years that I have lived in Anderson, I have never known when an election was. I have never known who was running. I have, we don't get that information. So information is just crucial with us making good choices and good decisions. And even the people that are running for office, I have never been able to find out who are these people and what for. So I'm excited, you guys, okay? And I pray to God that you will be also, that you will follow Tonya, and that you will get to those polls. You don't know, and if you did know, you got a pretty good idea now how important these elections are. It starts at the bottom and it goes all the way to the top. We in America seem to think that it starts at the top and it stays at the top. No, that is not correct. Our communities are our source of strength. Our communities are our source for our resources, for everything that matters to us in our homes, in our community as a whole. Um, you know, the malls, the infrastructure. I mean, Tonya has shared so much with us today, and I am so excited. So what I want to do is I want to ask you to share, like, communicate, and share this video, especially with everybody that you know that lives in Anderson County. Share the video. Tonya, one more thing. What district can we have a map? Can you get us a map or something to
Yes.
tell us what streets or what communities are
Yes.
actually covered by your
Yes,
district?
I will. I'll definitely put a map up. But all the surrounding areas, the Southwood Middle School, the area surrounding the West Side Community Center,
Okay.
the area. There's a small area on East Side, and I know the people know that it's right up adjacent to Tony Stewart, who is I want to say seat 4, but he's not running. His seat is not up until next year. So there's a small part on East Side, and then there's also a small part on North Side as well.
Okay.
That's where Wilson Calvary Church is and Asbury Baptist Church. So those two churches are a part of the Rocky River Baptist Association.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a lot of the I want to say the demographic is an older demographic, and it's also a demographic that is majority black, um, which doesn't matter because we're all a part of the community.
Amen.
But I do believe that because it is a majority black community, we want to be able to do things to build up the black family, the black youth, right? We want to do things to build up the black churches, so that we can have more unity. If nothing else, I want people to be um, inspired by the unity and the hope for the future, because what has been done is good, but I want to make it better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that does it. Again, like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with everyone that you know in Anderson, because not only is it this information is so valuable to Tanya's election, but folks, we just learned some things today, and just have a blessed day. Bye.